Jonathan Lemire is the White House bureau chief for Politico and the host of Way Too Early on MSNBC. Jonathan, good morning and Merry Christmas, my friend. It's good to see you on a Sunday. Let's start, John, if we can, with the House that's coming in here just in a couple of weeks. They win the House, the Republicans do, by a smaller margin than probably they expected to, but they've come in also promising things like impeachment hearings right away for Joe Biden and Hunter Biden and his laptop. So what is it going to look like for the next couple of years with this Republican House, Democratic-controlled Senate, and President Biden?
Merry Christmas, Willie, to you and your family, and nice to get a chance to bring our act together on the weekend. Washington is going to change now that once we hit the first 2 days of January. Democrats kept the Senate, even improved their margin by one, but the House, even though they only have an advantage of a few seats, goes to the Republicans. And it's going to be an unruly caucus for the GOP, but they will have the power of the subpoena. They'll have the power to say no. The White House and Democrats hope there might be a couple issues where they can find some bipartisanship. They think Republicans are largely going to be the party of no. Then there will be a wave of investigations. You mentioned some of them: Hunter Biden, the border, the withdrawal from Afghanistan. And White House aides that I talked to say, look, this isn't fun for any West Wing. Investigations are time-consuming. They are expensive. The White House says they'll cooperate, but they also have a sense the Republicans might overreach, and they show that they're out of step with the American people who just don't care about things like Hunter Biden's laptop. They want to feel about solutions to their everyday challenges. Democrats think it might end up working to their advantage.
And those everyday challenges include the economy, they include immigration. Obviously, among the big issues that we'll be looking at in 2023, the war in Ukraine, obviously still there now, nearly a year in. What are some of the stories and the issues, John, that you think will dominate the headlines in the coming year?
Well, you just hit it on a few of them. Let's start with Ukraine, about to hit the year mark of that conflict. At this point, the Western alliance has held together with remarkable strength, but especially as Europe is in a cold, dark winter, the economy's there teetering on the edge of a recession. There is a worry that some of the leaders there may be pushing for negotiated settlement before Ukraine is ready. And we know President Biden has said there will be no talks until President Zelensky says he's ready for them. And that's no time soon. So it's going to be a real effort from this White House to keep Europe together, but also to keep the money flowing from Washington to Kyiv, as the Republicans in control of the House say they want to cut that back dramatically. And certainly the economy is an issue here as well. There's still some hope that the U.S. can avoid a recession. The White House believes they can, or if a recession happens, it'll be brief. But there's almost certainty that the economy in the U.S. is really going to slow over the next few months, and that will dominate a lot of what this White House has to face.
And before we go, John, looming over everything you've just been talking about is a 2024 presidential election. President Biden signaling that he'll get in, though he hasn't made a formal decision. Former President Trump is in, but getting some pressure from Ron DeSantis and Republicans who might like to see an alternative. What do you think we'll see this year?
Yeah, the former president has had about as bad of a campaign launch as you can. Dinner with a white supremacist suggesting he wants to terminate the Constitution, and, of course, the fallout from the Republicans faring so poorly in the midterms. This is the weakest he's been probably since January 7th, 2021. And there is seemingly a growing appetite from some other Republicans, Haley, Pompeo, Christie, Pence, DeSantis, to take him on, thinking that maybe he can be beaten. But Trump still, polls suggest, a formidable figure, and he's going to factor in to the White House's thinking as well. As you just said, President Biden has not officially decided to run for re-election, but aides I talked to say the chances of him doing so grow by the day. They're all preparing for him to jump in for another 4 years, despite concerns about his age. And perhaps the biggest factor, senior White House aides tell me, they look at the Republican field, they see a mess, they see Trump weakened, but they still think Trump is the most likely GOP nominee, and they think President Biden by far has the best chance to beat him.
And so much happens in a week. Imagine what's going to happen over the next year. Jonathan, great to see you. Thanks so much for being here on this Christmas morning. We appreciate it. You can catch Jonathan weekday mornings on Way Too Early, starting at 5 a.m. Eastern on MSNBC.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Find your favorite recipes, celebrity interviews, uplifting stories, shop our favorite deals, and so much more with the Today app. Download it now.